Okay, today we're gonna do some maintenance. We are gonna be doing a lower end unit fluid change. So at the foot of your motor, you have a drain plug here. This is on a Yamaha 2-stroke 90. We have a fill plug here. And this is gonna be our level point. So we're gonna go ahead and get this drained. You're gonna want a pan, you're gonna pull this one loose here. We're gonna get drained, tilt the motor back a little bit more so everything drains out of the foot. You can pick up one of these pump fill tools from Walmart has them. And we got our gear oil from Walmart as well. We're using the Quicksilver. It's a SAE 90. We're gonna make sure there's no water in here when we drain this fluid. Make sure the seal's not blown, it's getting water in. Make sure there's no metal shavings. But we're gonna walk you through this real quick. Simple, easy, pretty much the same on almost all the motors. Here you go. It's gonna take a big flat tip that we're gonna start with. And we got a hammer here. And we got our plug. You can see there's a little bit of metal shavings on it. This has a lot of wear and tear. I mean, I run this thing a lot, so we're going to see. Hopefully there's no water and stuff in it. Pulling that screw, and now you can see it is draining. It's got a little white tint to it. Like there may have been a little bit of water, but I'm not seeing, you know, consistent water and meltiness, so I think we're good. Our seal's still good. You always want to check these and take a prop off every now and then too. That'll be the next thing we'll do in this process, is pull the prop off just to make sure the nut's not getting stuck on, or the prop on the shaft. And we'll lube it up and put it back on. Make sure there's no fishing line in between here that can tear your seals, because that does happen without you even knowing it. That's it. We're going to turn the motor a little bit and trim it up just a little bit more to get this fluid out. Come over here. All right, so now we have our fill tool hose that comes in the kit you can get at Walmart on top of our jug, and we're going to sit here screwed in the bottom. You pump it up until it comes out this top level screw. Once it starts to come out that top level screw, you install the screw back in the top, unscrew this and get the plug in as fast as possible, and that's it. All right, you can see it's coming out now. So now we're going to take and get our plug back in up top here. Get that to where it's snugged up tight. Okay, wipe off that excess oil residue that's there. Cleaned up, and we're going to go back down to the bottom here, and we got to get this hose and stuff off and get the plug in as fast as possible. So we're going to start with that. We'll get that started here just like that, so we don't have any big mess. Hopefully we're going to get that tight. Chewugga-dugga. That should be tight. I'm gonna wipe that off. That's all cleaned up, and that's it. Okay, next we're gonna do is pull our prop off. So we have a pin here. We're gonna get out of there, the counter pin. Pull this nut off. You have a washer. And then this is sitting on the hub. It's a splined hub. We're gonna pull the prop off, make sure that there's no debris and stuff behind the prop in between the shaft and the seal. So we're gonna work on getting this pin out. I mean, this is one of the easiest things on a boat to walk you through. I mean, it's just one pin, one bolt comes off. Pull that out. What I like to do is put it in gear. All right, so what I did is put it in reverse and give it a quick push, and that's it. And that'll break that nut loose, and it's not corroded or seized on. That's one of the big things, and hopefully the prop is not seized on the shaft itself either. So that's what we're doing, is kind of making sure everything looks good. We're gonna put some grease on it when we put it back on. Pull that nut and washer off, set it down with its pin. Take this off. It's kind of the centric hub piece for the bushing itself, but you can see the prop's not stuck on there on the shaft itself. So we're going to take and set this to the side as well. Pull our prop off, and that's it. So you can see, looks good. It's wasn't seized on the shaft. We don't have any fishing line in between here, because that's the other thing we want to make sure. Make sure there's no fishing line stuck in between these spacers, because it'll get in here and it'll tear your seals up. So that's what we're checking, but everything looks good. So we're gonna put some fresh grease on this and get it all slid back together, but looks good. All right, so that's pretty much it. That walks you through the steps. It's real simple, real easy. We didn't have any water. It was a little brown into it, but I think that was just, you know, moisture and stuff buildup, but there wasn't milky. Didn't have a bunch of metal shavings. Everything looked good. We pulled the prop off. It wasn't seized on the shaft, so we're still good. So if we have any maintenance we have to do in the future, we're not going to be fighting that. We re-grease that. We check in between the washers, the spacers for the prop and the hub assembly, to make sure that there's no fishing line or any debris behind it that might mess up the seal, cause damage, and make it where the lower unit will get water. But everything looks good, so we got our top back off and prop back on, everything ready to go, and get out and run it and see what we got.